Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the conversation series.
Because creators are businesses.
What we do is not simple.
Give, the fans everything that they deserve.
Being creative
is like doing a 5,000 piece puzzle.
is something that you can learn and do over and over again.
Always be as authentic as I can be.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the conversation series. I am thrilled today to have an incredible woman here with me, Veronica Vidaña, a single Latina mom. She's a cancer survivor. She's an entrepreneur and an advocate. She has created Unapologetically Thriving, a nonprofit supporting cancer survivors, fighters, and their loved ones. I'm so excited, Veronica. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Yes, I want to get into, first of all, your story with all of this. Of course, you have background with being a cancer survivor. What led you to creating Unapologetically Thriving?
Well, I knew that during my through my journey of everything, I had to do a lot of self-discovery.
Okay.
And because this was something that impacted me prior to my diagnosis through family and being a third generation breast cancer survivor, it's very difficult. So when I was thinking about how I can help people and what kind of an impact I can make, I started to think of a lot of the things that I've personally been through, because I know that when you go through this journey, it affects your mental health. It affects every single aspect of your life. So I thought of being unapologetic about who I ended up becoming, because I'm no longer the person I was prior to my diagnosis. So then in that sense, I created Unapologetically Thriving, which is our main umbrella company to the Unapologetically Me nonprofit, which focuses on mental health, self-love, and self-acceptance. Unapologetically Pink, which focuses on specifically breast cancer survivors and fighters, and then Unapologetically Living, which is a broad nonprofit for all cancer survivors and fighters and family.
I love that. And I love how you say cancer fighters. It's not somebody battling cancer. It's a cancer fighter. I love that term.
When you go through this, sometimes you feel that you're not having your best day, but you have to fight every day. You have to fight for not only your physical health, you're fighting for your mental health, you're fighting for your family and your loved ones. You fight so much. So I think that it's appropriate.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What was the moment for you in terms of creating this nonprofit and going down this path?
I've taught before, but then I got into real estate and I did enjoy it. However, I just didn't feel that it was fulfilling enough for me. And after my diagnosis, I remember that when I would pray and I would talk to God and ask him, like, help me find my purpose. I don't know what it is, because I felt so lost, and I felt that I needed to do more.
Yeah.
And something that I'm very good at. Everyone who knows me knows I'm really good at talking to people and engaging with people, and I'm very empathetic. And I think that those qualities of me allow me to create that space for people to be vulnerable with me and to share their struggles in every aspect. And I also feel that I'm very relatable in the sense that I've gone through a lot. I can't just assume, oh, they're going through this, that must be hard. But no, like, I've personally gone through so many of these experiences that these people have. So I think that it makes me easy to confide in and to talk to and to relate to, because, we have that in common in a lot of ways.
It's a very special gift to be able to have for people to feel comfortable coming to you, having those conversations, especially as they're going through such hard times. It's a really, really beautiful gift to have.
Thank you. I think that being vulnerable for some people, it's easy, but it's not. I know for myself, I really struggled with allowing myself to be vulnerable around people, just because of the stigma of what people would think. Just being that judged. So I really struggled with that a lot. However, now I feel like I'm an open book in a lot of ways.
I love it. When you went down the path of creating this nonprofit, What were some of the, biggest challenges that you went through in setting up the nonprofit and running it and all these different things?
I think it's just the getting everything off of the ground because when I decided to do this, I just kind of went for it.
Yeah.
And I didn't think about it. It's like it came to my mind and I'm like, okay, we're doing this. And having to start three nonprofits, like the umbrella company itself, but then the three nonprofits it was a lot of work, but I'm very fortunate that I do have such a great support system and I have people who've been willing to help because I realistically can't do it by myself and I don't want to. I want this to be something where people feel that they're part of, not just, oh, she's the founder and stuff like that. No, it's like, it's our community. It's our nonprofit. So
what have been some of the things that you guys have done? Have you guys done, fundraising events? Have you done races? What sort of things have you guys done to bring the community together?
we do have different fundraisers coming up right now. We're doing for Unapologetically Pink, we have a coffee table book coming out in October 1st. So we're photographing a lot of different women and men because I didn't realize until my diagnosis that breast cancer affects men as well.
Yeah.
Small percentage, but they're affected by it. And so we're featuring different people with different stories in the book. And it's going to be something so special because people are just being so vulnerable and it's just so beautiful. But we do have that coffee table book coming out. And then with Unapologetically Me, we are actually in the process, we're brainstorming some ideas. So we do have some different things coming up. And then we're also in the process of planning activities. We do want to plan a gala. We want to plan a walk. But then we're also planning like karaoke nights, just a bunch of different things, which we're working on a website as well. But right now on I have Facebook groups. So on there, once things start coming up, we will be posting them in our social media pages. And once the website's completely up, we will have all the events and all the information on there as well.
What sort of team do you have around you right now that's been a part of this nonprofit so far in terms of brainstorming ideas and all these things?
Well, I have some photographers that I've collaborated with. Right now, I have been working with Anna, who is with the Unapologetically Me nonprofit. She is amazing, and I just love her so much because she's just so creative, and we collaborate so well. Yeah. And then we just brought two new photographers, one for Unapologetically Me and one for Unapologetically Living. And it's just so great because everybody, for instance, in the photography aspect of it, everybody brings something different to the table, but everybody is so welcoming so that it does give people the ability to be vulnerable and to just kind of be themselves in raw form. Yeah. We also have someone who manages the finances. Okay. Because I tend to get a little creative and I'm just like, let's go. So we do need that. Someone who helps me with the events, like brainstorming the events that are going to be the most engaging. And in each nonprofit, we want to have different types of fundraisers. And right now because we are just starting now, all of our events and our fundraisers are just focused in the DFW area, the Austin area, and the Denver, Colorado area.
Okay. Very nice. I love this. I love to hear all these ideas of bringing everybody together. I think it's so cool. And especially having a strong team around you to be able to help with all these different things that you're trying to do is so incredibly important.
Yeah, I completely agree because no one can run any form of company by themselves. They do need the support of their team.
Is there something that, from your time being a cancer fighter that you're really taking from all the time that you went through that and really saying, okay, these are the things that we're really trying to help people with, and we're trying to maybe take people out of this space of thinking and mental health?
One of the things that I learned is I had to let go of my ego.
Okay.
I had a lot of, like, I had big ego and I had a lot of pride. So I didn't want to reach out to people. I didn't want people to see me struggle. I didn't want people to see me in that kind of a light,
Yeah.
where I'm not okay all the time. I'm having really bad depression. I'm having anxiety. I'm just really struggling mentally. Those kinds of things that were very difficult.
Yeah.
Nobody, however, outside of my circle really saw it because I did really well hiding it from my family for a little bit, but then it just became so much bigger than myself. And then so I was very fortunate that I have such a strong family, but I also have such a great support system in my friends. So, I call them my village because they were there for me when
Yeah.
I was not in a good place. I have some friends they're hilarious. Like they would come and visit me, like if I was not answering or whatever, they're just like show up and hey, we're getting out of the slum, or
Yeah.
some are texting me, calling me. Okay, if you don't answer, I'm showing up at your door, or I'm calling another family member. So, it was just that constant. And also, I struggled with a lot of body issues because
Yeah.
I'm 44, but I went through this when I was 42. And although I did have my children, I had to have a DMX, which is a double mastectomy.
Yep.
So having lost my breast, I had just expanders for, a few months. And if you're not familiar with that, you just have flat breasts
Yeah.
with some, like literally an expander in there. So, and then your breasts are completely distorted because, they had to take everything out. I had the ductal carcinoma. So there was in the ducts of my breasts. So having your body just look awful. And even when you do actually get your implants, they look better. However, it's not the same. And you don't have that natural fat in there anymore. You have to, continue to do the maintenance. And I had, honestly, like I have a great team. My breast surgeon is Brian Armijo, Dr. Armijo, which is amazing. Like I love him so much just because he's so good at comforting me and making me feel like I'm not just another patient. It's just he just focuses on me, which is great because you want somebody who is going to listen to you and do their very best to make you feel like you.
It does take a village. I sit in a similar, I can relate to that. I have from a family of breast cancer. Both my grandmothers have had breast cancer, or who have been cancer fighters, and have come out on the other side. And it is something that it truly takes a village to just make sure that you are helping each other get through each of these phases and making sure that there is constant support there, whether they want it or not.
Right. Yeah, because you just don't know. And I've seen a lot of sad stories where
Yes.
people don't have that and they feel so lonely and their spouses leave them. And it's really hard and it really gets to you because you're at your lowest point at that time, and to feel I don't love myself and I don't feel worthy, but then to have a partner who isn't there for you it's heartbreaking, because I already have these self-doubts about myself and then you're just solidifying that. So that's really difficult. And that's why it's so good to have that community. And that's why it was so important for me to create these, because I want to be there for people. And I want us to have a community where it's okay to have a crappy day. It's okay. Like we're here for you. You're not the first one. You're not the only one to deal with anything that you're going through.
Veronica, my last question for you is just what is fueling your passion around this nonprofit right now? What are you most excited for, even though this is so brand new to you? What are you most excited for in the years to come?
I think growing so much to the point where I'm able to help everybody who needs help in whatever aspect, whether that's, a financial help or that's just the support of community, just expanding to that level where we all feel like a community. We all feel that we're loved and supported. And
I love that. I love that so much. Veronica, I cannot wait to see how and what you do with these nonprofits and everything and the community that you're able to support. So I'm so excited. And I'm so glad I was able to sit down with you and talk to you about all of this today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on and,
Yeah.
just being able to talk with you.
Yes, absolutely. You guys, I'm going to have the Facebook groups for Veronica's nonprofits down below, so you guys can go check them out and give them a follow, especially if you are in the areas that they are serving right now. Please go see what they can do for you. And as always, I will see you guys back here next time. Bye, y'all.